there were a number of things I saw, you know, when I bought the car that I knew would need fixing. But I'm gonna show a few of them off to you. This is the bottom of the muffler. There's the other one. Real nice. The seam here is just not even connected anymore. Like that's just falling right. The car, whenever I do that, the whole pipe up here does this. On the bright side, there's been this rattling noise when I pull up the stoplights and idle, and it's this. Just gonna fold that back in there, pretend it didn't happen. I have never seen this many different fittings on one piece of pipe, all of which are doing almost nothing. This is probably held together by rust at this point. That's my rear flex line. It is very cracked, and I'm lucky, I guess, that it isn't cracked all the way through. I'm pretty sure there's only one line for the rear because that little box is essentially a junction block that splits pressure from this flex line into the two hard lines coming out of that box. So if you lose this one flex line, both of your rear brakes stop working. Got holes in this little Y pipe splitter here. Enough trans fluid to drown in, leaking out up there. That's just great. All more reason to swap to a manual. Absolutely pristine show quality exhaust system. Couldn't be anything wrong with it. Not really trying to preserve it.
Alright, I'll find you a
Cutting implement?
saw that goes back and forth by itself.
That would be cool. Those two hard lines there had to come out of the little junction block on the rear axle. They're out, and I didn't strip any part of them, which is good. The one that goes up there that you can't see, because it's behind the, actually you can see the end of it there next to the bracket. That one I did strip the hex on, like I completely rounded it off. So I'll have to do something about that before I can put the new line in. This is the junction block that goes on the rear axle. 2 hard lines go there and there. And then the flex line goes in there and has a banjo bolt on the end. That's how the original setup is. And on flex line for the original, it's got this fitting that goes into the hard line on the chassis, and then the axle where that junction block is, it has one of these, just a little square fitting that a banjo bolt goes through. There's a new one that I have to install. It looks different, and it's the only style I could find. It's this. So it has a flex line from the chassis here, goes back, and it just goes straight into the 2 hard lines on the chassis. And it bolts to the axle here, so it eliminates the junction block. This is equivalent to these 2 things, if that makes any sense. This is the new brake line. That gold thing is the adapter. And this is the old line nut, which I've stripped out. I will probably tighten this rounded off original line nut with vice grips, and that's just gonna be a problem for future me. And now, let's see if this works the way I want it to. Put that up through there, kind of clip it in temporarily. This is the original clip that held it in. How did I strip this thing? There's no leverage. I don't have enough force to strip it out. The weakest fastener I've ever dealt with in my life. Got the adapter in. That's this right here. It threaded properly into the end of the flex line. This is now the trouble point because the hexes on it are stripped. This is not something I ordinarily do. It's not something I would recommend doing, but nonetheless, it is what I will do because I rounded this nut off earlier. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, now what we have is this, and those 2 things, and one of these. There's the adapter, there's a hard line. Thread that one in, and then the original block came in at 90 degrees. So now I have to rotate one 90 degrees to get it to line up. There are 2 holes on this like gusset piece. Yeah. I'm debating trying to bend a new little bracket to bridge those to this thing just so it doesn't rattle around all the time. Okay, got a highly advanced prototype bracket for you.
Okay, and so you mark these X's where the holes need to be?
Yeah, approximately. Okay. Width doesn't matter, you know, I like them kind of in the center of the thing.
Okay.
Just...
And the fact that these 2 little legs, you can see them, right?
Yeah, they're not
parallel.
They're not parallel. That's
okay.
That's what they're supposed to be.
Okay. And then
that was an intentional design choice.
Can you give me a fix on the...
Oh, the holes?
Yeah, I missed them.
Okay. So, a hole in the...
Probably something smaller.
That's right. The hole in that little end of the flex line comes out to 15, yeah, 15, 30 seconds. That's not a great number. 12 millimeters, if that helps. A little bit easier to deal with.
Yeah, I can just measure the other bolt.
Open. Closed. Open. Closed. Fill hole there on the front driver's side of the diff, and I have to get this bottle to put fluid into there. That should work.
Yeah. I'll let it slip off the end by
Oh, dang it. Get a rag. A larger diameter piece of hose would have been beneficial, I think. Okay. Let me correct that. I need a larger hose. This is terrible.